Awesome. All right, hey guys, welcome to our Sunday night power planning. It's the 14th of November, so we're basically at the halfway mark already, and we are fastly approaching Thanksgiving, which I feel like the week before people start celebrating. So we've got a lot of things coming up. So I want to make sure that we stay on task as far as getting our weeks planned and doing the steps that need to happen, because I know how hard it is to stay on track when you start having, I don't know, you're making extra food, you're going to different places, you're trying to maybe the free time you had prior that you were using for your business, now you're trying to get your Christmas shopping done. Like there's so many things that go on this time of year. So it's super important that we just stay focused. And now is the best time. And I mean, I always think you should stick with the basics, but now is the time to just stick to the basics, get the basics done so that you can be accomplished and have momentum, versus stringing yourself out trying to do all of the fabulous things all at the same time with your life and your business. So I want for us to start tonight, if we could start filling up the chat with maybe some I ams or some gratitude, just maybe pop something in there, something that happened to you this past week. Could be personal, could be business. Start typing your little hearts out, or you can unmute and just talk. I'm cool with that too. I feel like when life starts to get busy, which is always busy for us, but it's going to become even busier because of the holiday season. So many things feel like out of control. And just in life in general, there are so many things out of our control. So I think it's really important to focus on what we can control. And the only thing that we can control is us and what we do with the time that we're given. So I think it's really important that we stick with our gratitude, especially during hectic times. Lisa says, I'm thankful for safe travels to a wedding yesterday and being able to see friends we haven't been with in a while. That is super exciting. It's always so good to be with people. I know I love getting to visit with people that you haven't seen in forever, especially after last year. It feels like there's a whole bunch of people you haven't seen in forever. Anybody else grateful?
I cannot type fast.
Okay, you can just tell us.
I started to type. I'm like, screw this. I just said, I'm so grateful and happy to be able to be there for my family, which is something was my goal, to have the time freedom that I've prayed for so long.
Yes, excellent. Sonia says, I'm grateful I got to spend some time today with my dad. Yes, that's always fun. Daddy time is always fun. Okay, all right, well, let's dive into our week. You guys can keep typing away if you got something you want to add to that, but we are going to kick off with rate of run like we always do. This is just a great way for us, especially here at the halfway point, to know where we're headed. So what you're going to do is get logged into your cloud if you're not already, and I apparently wasn't. All right there on that very main page, you are going to scroll down to where you see the business snapshot. Oops, mine was there and it just jumped. So where you see business snapshot, click that little arrow, and you're going to look in that first block that says qualifications. You're going to look to where it says current QV. You're going to take that dollar amount and you're going to divide it by 14 because today is the 14th of the month. Michelle says, I am grateful for 2 new customers. Congratulations. April says, I am grateful for my surgery to go so good, now ready to bed. Oh yeah, I bet you are ready for bed rest to be over. That's like a super hard part. Like it's nerve-wracking getting something done, but then when you're done and you're like, okay, I'm ready to be healed. But definitely take time and rest and get healed. So we're going to take that current QV, we're going to divide it by 14 because today's 14th of the month. You're now looking at a much smaller number. That dollar amount you're looking at now is the average that you and your downline are doing on a day-to-day basis. So that is you, anyone you've recruited, anyone they've recruited, and then any customers and any other people's customers that are in your downline. So you're going to take that smaller number and you're going to multiply it by 30 because we have 30 days in November. And you are now looking at a new number. That is the number that you are on track for. Your team, I should say, your team is on track for to end the month at. And so now looking at that number, you know whether you've got to get jiggy or whether something is working and things are going great. And it's so weird because it changes almost daily. Like some days I'm like, sweet, we're jiggy, we're doing it. And then other days I'm like, holy moly, what's going on? We got to do something. But I just think it's so important to check in with that number so you have an idea. I will say for Dream Team, for my team, we're low, like we're low. So we got to get jiggy is basically what we got to get doing. But it's good to know that number. So now is, now is where you can build with that. You can say, okay, here's where we are. Here's where I want to go. What's the difference between that? Like, for example, I cleared my number. Let's just pretend that we were 60,000 short of what I wanted our team goal to be. So, I gotta do some quick math here. It's the 14th. So we basically have 16 days. So I would take 60,000, call it, saying I'm short, and I would divide it by 16 because we have 16 more days to accomplish that. So I need to add $3,750 a day to what we're already doing to get us back to where we need to go. Now that was probably an overwhelming number. So let's just pretend that you were shooting for 4K and you were $1,000 short. You can divide that by 16, and that's $62 a day extra versus what you've already done. So to me, what's in our cloud that's $62? Capsules are 60. So I would maybe run a promo on capsules or something. Do something where you can start bumping up the average order. How can you get the customer that's already going to be coming in? How can you get them to add on to their order? We have tons of new products. Obviously, we have Blast. We just got that new Activate flavor yesterday, which I was totally surprised by that. Like I mean, now that I'm looking back and I see all the pictures that they were in Florida for that mega local and they were throwing out the new flavor, I was like, oh, fun. But I was totally blindsided by that. I just had no idea we had something new coming. I've been keeping my eyes open for the shakes to come out this month. So that was a nice little surprise. And I think I ordered it. I can't wait. I think it sounds delicious. But so maybe it's not even a new product. Maybe this is the time where, somebody's been thriving with you and their auto ship's going to be coming out and they always get the same thing every month. And now's the time for you to start asking them how they're doing, if there's anything new that they're dealing with, and if there's some way that you can help them with that. Maybe somebody is, case in point, I had dinner with a girlfriend last night. Her mom has been through surgery, through rehab. She is super stressed out. And if she's not working, she's at the hospital, checking in on her mom. And so she would be a perfect candidate for, all kinds of stuff, actually. Rest gel so she could sleep better, Activate because she's really running low on energy. So just start trying to see what's going on in your customer's life. Take what's already coming to you and see how you can add on to that. It's A, it's a good customer service, and B, it's good sales, because that's, you take the average dollar order and you bump it up a little. So again, that's something that you have control over. You don't have control over whether or not the person's going to say yes and order more or do more, but you have control over offering that to them. So remember, some people don't even know, which I know we have to stop ourselves and think like a customer. Some people don't even know that there's more than the 3 steps. Have you ever thought about that? Some of your customers have no idea that there's more product than what they're already taking. They don't log in. They don't read the emails. They just take the product that you recommended to them and they've been using it and they feel good and they just have the auto ship and they don't ever pay any attention. I know that we think everybody knows, but they don't know. Yes, we might show something in our story. Yes, they're probably getting emails, and yes, we're sharing things, but it doesn't mean they know. So take it upon yourself to make sure you're talking to your customers about what's going on in their life and if there's any way you could help them with what's happening. So again, that's something you can control. All right, so obviously we have birthdays on Facebook that you always want to be keeping track of. So we can do that together right now, just in case there's anybody that's never done this before. You're going to go into your Facebook app. And up in the search bar, you can just type in the word birthdays. I mean, I know there's lots of different ways for different phones to do it, but I find this one is standard for all the phones. So if you just search the word birthdays, Facebook will say, hey, here's all the people celebrating a birthday today. Here's some people who had birthdays yesterday, maybe the day before. And then here are people who have upcoming birthdays. These are all free names for you to make contact with. Every single one of those names needs to be on your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 sheet. And I know some people will debate this. If it's a current thriver, I still think you should say happy birthday. We're a team, we're a tribe, right? I feel like we should still be saying that to each other. So I don't follow a lot of the thrivers because I like to try to keep my newsfeed open for, other people so I can meet new people, but I'm still their friend on Facebook. So their birthdays are still going to pop up for me. And I still want to make some sort of connection, obviously. So that is a group of names that you could be writing down right now or screenshotting right now, or however you like to do it. But those are all that's a, when people say, I don't know who to talk to, that's a free list right there. We just gave you a free list of people to talk to this week. So make sure you're getting all those birthdays written down. Tomorrow we have auto ships, which hopefully you didn't wait until today to talk to the auto ships for tomorrow, but let's go through this. So you're going to get back into your cloud. You're going to be logged in there on that main page. This time you're going to go up to the menu though, and you're going to click my team, my customers. It's going to populate up your personal customers, not your team's customers, your customers. You're going to, at the top where it says customer number, customer name, email, scroll all the way to the right. Oops. Where it says next auto ship, click those words twice. That's going to populate it by date. Look for anyone that has an 11/15, an 11/20, or an 11/25 auto ship and write those names down. If you have anyone that has an 11/15 and you have not made contact with them yet, as soon as this Zoom is over, that's your first message you're sending. How was your weekend? What'd you do this weekend? Get a conversation started and then make sure and say, oh, great, good. I don't know, let's say somebody's like, we'll pretend Lisa's my customer, oh, it was great. We went to this wedding. It was awesome, blah, blah, blah. Oh my gosh, that's wonderful. I'm so glad you got to do that. Whatever you're going to say. And then I know you've been really busy, so I want to make sure and remind you that your auto ship's coming out tomorrow. Like, you got to tell that person now because they only have until midnight to change that order. So those are the people you have to talk to as soon as you get off the phone. Now, the other people who have auto ship coming up on the 20th or the 25th, write their names down. Again, a free list of names for you of people to contact this week, and just follow up with them. I like to go obviously to their Facebook or Instagram, kind of peek on them, but I have some that literally don't post anything, or they'll only post like funny jokes. They don't post anything about their personal life. So then I have to go back to either the text message or our messenger and kind of scroll up and see what we talked about last time. Maybe over a month, I forgot that they changed their shake flavor, or maybe I forgot that they tried a new DFT. So I want to make sure, how's it going? Are you liking the new flavor? Are you feeling anything different? Like, get all those conversations started and then say, okay, well, let's get your auto ship ready for this month. And since you're loving the new DFT, we're going to keep that on there. Like have those conversations with people. Ideally sooner than the night before, but I understand it happens sometimes. There was on one time last year, I think it was last year. I don't think it was earlier this year, but anyway, I had done the whole Zoom about talking to people about their auto ships and totally forgot. I wrote all the names down while I was with you guys, and then I forgot to contact the person, and their auto ship ran without them being ready. So I still screw up, but I'm just trying to put this out there so we don't. Okay. So something I want to throw out to you guys, it's just a quote, not even a quote. I guess it's a one-liner. And I was going back through some of my old notes, and it is conversations before commissions. Conversations before commissions. And I know we've talked a lot lately about talking to people. How many people can you talk to? How many new people can you meet, whether it's in real life or virtual life? But if you want to make money in basically any business, you're going to have conversations with people. Think of whatever your day job is. Maybe you're a nurse. Before you're going to get paid, you have to talk to patients, you have to talk to coworkers, you have to talk to pharmacists, you have to talk to doctors. You have to have communication with people to turn whatever it is that you do into money. So make sure that you keep that in the front of your mind. One of the things that, again, is some old notes that I have written down. I'm not really sure where it came from, to be honest with you, but there was a, what's that called when there's like letters and they're supposed to remind you of something? You teacher types will know this. So like the letters are Lord, it spells Lord, but it's for
acronym.
Thank you, acronym. So the acronym is LORD, LORD. It's so location, occupation, recreation, dreams and goals, with dreams/goals. So when you're trying to have a conversation and you're like, I don't even know what to talk to, with this person. Oh, hi, Arden. So location, where are you based out of, or where do you live now? Or it could even be like location of where did you move to, or where do you go to church? Like, it's the where question, right? Like where do you work? Where do you go to? Where's your favorite place for dinner? Like, think location about people when you're trying to talk. Occupation, obviously, what do you do for a living? Again, you can say, where do you work, or what do you do, or what do you do there? Because a lot of times people will say, oh, I work at, I don't know, children's. Okay, that's a really big place. What do you do there? Like, narrow that down. Like, keep asking, how long have you done it? Did you, what kind of schooling did you have to go there? Do you love it? I just, keep asking them about what they do. R for recreation. What do people do in their spare time? What are their hobbies? What do they love? Where do they like to maybe they love to go boating. Where do they like to go boating? Maybe they love to I love to garden. What do people like to do? That's another great way to get a conversation started. And then I think one that is appropriate the more you get to know somebody is talking about their dreams. So LORD, location, occupation, recreation, and dreams. So like you could be talking to someone, you're like, what's your number one goal for the month? What's the one thing you want to, change this month? Or what's the, oh gosh, we've got a month and a half left of the year. What's your big goal before the end of the year? You can have those conversations with people. I love to talk about goals with people. So it's called an acrostic. Is that how you say that? Oh, so it's not an acronym. Oh, well, I've learned something tonight. Thank you. I knew my teacher friends would teach me things. Okay, so again, you always want to create curiosity when you are, or no, I shouldn't say, you want to be curious when you're talking to people. I think that's the thing that people stumble on. They're like, I don't know what to say to somebody, or I'm friends with this person, but I don't know how many of you have Facebook friends? And you're like, we're Facebook friends, but I don't really know how. I don't know how we're connected. I actually had a lady say to me a couple of weeks ago at one of the football games, she was like, oh, you're here for Frisch, right? And I was like, yeah. She was like, yeah, I'm Facebook friends with you. I see all your stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I didn't know who she was. So I felt really bad. So I, does your kid play here? Or I think I said something about being a crazy aunt. And she's like, oh, I love all that stuff. So there are people you're connected to that maybe you don't really know. Get to know them. I think it might be weird at first to type it, but if I got a message like that from somebody, it may not be. Like if Sandra sent me a message and said, hey, I keep seeing you on my feed. I know we're Facebook friends. I see that we have several mutual friends, but I honestly can't remember how we're connected. Like, remind somebody, did I meet you at a brunch? Did I meet you at work? Like, how did we connect finally? Like, and then that'll obviously start ringing bells and you can start having conversations again with people. All right, so we're talking to people. Okay, so the other thing we want to make sure we're keeping an eye on is finding friends or meeting new people. And again, I know it's still a weird time in the world where sometimes we're actually out and about, and then sometimes we're still stuck at home. So you can find, even if you're stuck at home, you can still find friends. So that would just be a matter of friending people on Facebook or following people on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, you name it, whichever ones you're on, whatever floats your boat, like following new people and connecting with new people. But remember, just because you click the follow button, that's just clicking a button. If you're going to follow them or you're going to friend them, that's when you need to start doing the 3, 2, 1, where you start liking 3 pictures, commenting on 2, and then connecting with them somehow. So I know technically in the 1, it's communicating with someone through their stories, but not everyone uses stories. So if I get connected or follow or friend or whatever, somebody, and I go through their pictures and I like a few and I make a couple comments, I will make sure that I then go to Messenger. Like, I don't know, maybe I, like one the other day, it was a mom and she had shared some pictures, I don't know, like everyone gets like their pictures in the apple orchard with the pumpkins and stuff this time of year. So like there was a couple really cute ones. I, commented on it, and then I shot her a quick message and I was like, hey, I was so impressed with your pictures. Who did you use to get those? Or, or what apple orchard were you at, or something like that. Because she didn't have anything in her stories, but I wanted to get into her Messenger. And so that was a non-awkward way, right? Like if you have beautiful family pictures that you share on Facebook and somebody asks you who took them, you'll tell them. So, but again, now I'm in her Messenger. Like I got a foot into the door, right? So don't just go through, because I'm guilty of this. I've done this too in the past. I have gone through and been like, friend, 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 follow. And I'm like, woohoo, 5 newbies. No, no, they don't know me. I don't know them. So as you're adding people, make sure you're 3, 2, 1ing the people. 3 likes on pictures or posts or whatever, 2 actual comments, and then one connection through Messenger or through, well, I guess, yeah, it's Messenger on Instagram too. But I like to be more specific and say 1 question in Messenger. Like a question will start a conversation. Okay, let me make sure I'm going back over all my stuff. So just one thing I wanted to remind you guys of that I know we talk about every now and then, but we haven't done it in a while. If you have a second device in front of you and that you can access your Messenger on, there it is, up in the search bar, you know how you can search for the person, obviously, but I wanted to use some keywords. So either unmute and tell me some keywords or type them in the chat. What are some keywords? Like I could type in weight, WEIGHT, that kind of weight. And then it'll pop right up. It says messages and it shows me 3, but it also says see more. So I'm going to click see more. Oh, tired. And now I'm going to start seeing any conversation that I had with someone or group chats with people who the word weight, as in body weight, came up. And there's a lot in here. So those are people that we can follow back up with. So let's go back in and let's type in tired. Oh, tired, sleepy, energy. Okay, let's do tired first. TIRED, search, see more. Yes, a ton. A ton. As a matter of fact, okay, here's a funny story. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th message down is a girl who messaged me on October 26th about, hey there, I'm just a mom of teens and I'm tired and I can't see the rest of the message, just preview. So she and I went back a few times and then I reached out to her again today because I said I had, half off for newbies because I am still trying to get my way to Punta Cana because I am not there yet. And it opened up another level of conversation about money and expenses and timing. So it's just funny because I totally forgot that that's how she first approached me. It was like, hey, it's me. We went to high school together. Hey, it's me. I'm just a mom of teens and I'm really tired. So it's so good to go back through your messages and remind yourself of people that maybe you haven't talked to in a while. So let's type in next sleepy. Search, see, oh, a bunch, so many. And I'm shaking my head because I don't do this enough. Like I need to put it on my calendar to search 1 messenger word a day. Energy. So we're going to search energy. Oops, I'm going to spell it right first. Search, see more. Tons. Oh, who's Todd? There's a person named Todd. Oh, that was a group chat with you, Sandra. I'm like, who's this Todd guy? Okay, so as a promoter, this will help you pull up old chats that you've been put in or that you created that maybe you've forgotten about or they've kind of died down. So for anyone that we just looked up that said tired, sleepy, or energy, we have a brand new product to talk to them about. We have detox that can help with all those things, or just something even super easy to throw out is we have a new flavor of Activate. If somebody's tired and sleepy and needs more energy, Activate, which by the way, during detox, Activate's been my best friend. So you just never know like what could be going on in the business currently. So like, for example, let me pull that back up, the energy conversations. There's some in here from October, but there's some in here from September. There's some in here from August even that haven't been open in quite a while, like different chats with customers. This would be a great time to be like, hey, I was just revisiting and I remembered here that Sarah, you had talked about needing so much more energy. We have a brand new flavor of Activate. This might be something to help you. Again, super simple. It refers back to something they already talked about. I don't know about you, but if somebody sent me a message a month or so later and remembered that I was tired or sleepy or needed energy, I'd be super impressed. I wouldn't know that they had Googled or like not Google, but they had searched the keyword. I would have just been impressed. Guess who forgot to order theirs when they placed their tag team order? Your Activate, you mean? Well, the new one did that. Oh, yeah. Well, that's okay. You can get that later. I ordered 2 boxes. I'll give you one to try. Also, side note between me, you, and everyone else that might watch this. If you've noticed, Move has been out of stock for a while and Form is now out of stock. And so I, being a rest gel junkie, panicked and ordered 4 boxes of it today, because I don't know if it has something to do with the packaging maybe, or if it's just a legitimate like thing and they're just, I don't know. I just panicked and I was like, well, I can't make it through the holidays without a good night's sleep. And so then I just ordered a bunch extra. But also they didn't put that on the tag team sale. So that I was like, oh, are they low? So I got 4 boxes. So don't be knocking on my door wanting my boxes. I'm just throwing it out there. If you want some, you better order it now. Anyway, that was just a little side note for our Zoom here tonight. Okay, so how did everybody do with the samples challenge? I did horrible, and it was my idea. I only got 3 out of 10. That's okay. I mean, it's
Let's
just
do a
so
new-
weird. Like sometimes you'll do it and 10 people will want samples, and then sometimes you do it and 3 people want samples. But if we hadn't done that, I would not have had 3 people to sample it. So, that's a bonus. So think of it that way. I always try to like rethink things in my head, like put the silver lining on them. Let's do the challenge. Do you want to do the sample challenge again? Because I had a different one in mind. Oh, she's like, oh, what is the different one? Well, the different one I want, because I think it's going to keep us in the basics, which not the samples are in the basics too. But I also think it would be really good. So I want to challenge everyone on here to friend or follow 3 new people a day and 3, 2, 1 them. Friend or follow 3 people a day and 3, 2, 1 them over this next week, which I'm calling it a challenge, but it's really on your list of things to do anyway, right? But I think it falls in normally the 2 category on your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Like, do you know what we must sound like if somebody's not a thriver and they listen to these Zooms? And they're like, they got this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and she's supposed to 3, 2, 1 them, and I have no idea what this means, but hopefully you're following along. So you should be trying to do at least 2 connections a day. But again, I'm guilty of being like, okay, I friended 2 people, moving on. That's not really connecting to people. So I want to bump it to 3 for the week. And I want to make sure that when you friend or follow them, that you immediately 3, 2, 1 them. So like 3 pictures, comments on 2, and connect with them somehow with a question in Messenger or direct message or whatever they call it on whatever app you're on. Sandra says, I have a new friend and we've connected because she's a nurse. And I told her my Artie is a nurse. Oh, good. It's just so, I mean, if you think about the people on your team, I mean, some of us, some people that came into the business with me, I knew before, which, that's how we met, or, we had met before, but then there are some people on the team who I'd never met until they signed up under someone else, or maybe they signed up under me, or like we met, whatever. And now these are people who I can't imagine my life without anybody in it. So it's just so weird how random our connections might start, but how meaningful they can be. So keep that in mind when you're 3, 2, 1-ing people. Don't just connect in a pass-by mode of like, click, I friended that person, actually 3, 2, 1 them. And I'm really curious to see for myself, as well as you guys, what it does for our activity this week. So ideally, Sandra, if you're 3, 2, 1-ing someone and that gets the conversation started, maybe by the end of the week, they're asking you what the heck Thrive is, and you could have a sample with them. Right? So we'll try that one. Okay, so that's what I have for you guys today. Does anybody have any questions or anything they want to add? All right, don't everyone talk at once. Okay. All right, well, oh, Michelle says yes. You can unmute Michelle or type. We love you too, Sandra D. I don't know if Michelle meant yes, that she liked the challenge, or yes, she wanted to talk. I don't want to cut her off if she has something to say. Michelle. When you get random person, how do you reach out? When you get a random person, as in like somebody ordered, you got a random order? Is that what you mean by get a random person? Like how some people will just go to Lavelle.com and pick a promoter and place an order? Like from leaving your bus. Oh, business card. I'm like your bus card. You left your from leaving your business card. Yeah. Okay. So random. So when somebody, so either they've logged on and ordered, I'm going to assume either one or two things. Either they logged on and ordered from you, or they logged on and created a new customer account. And yeah, they're a random person. I love those moments when I wake up to a customer that just fell out of the sky for me. So you can go into, let me make sure I walk you through all the steps. So in your cloud, get back into the cloud. You can go into your My Customers, like, my team and then My Customer, and your newest customers are at the top. So when it's going to say customer number, customer name, next to that is their email. So you automatically have their email that I would send an email, or you can click on their customer number and they, if they've put it in, you'll have a telephone number. So you can either email or you can text, whatever you feel comfortable with. But I send them an email and say, hey, I just saw you placed your order, your first time order for Thrive. I'm so excited. I'm here to help you. What kind of questions do you have? Usually I would say, what are your health goals? I always try to get people talking about their health goals. And then I usually put a snippet of like, I'm here to help you. I want to make sure you get the best out of this. I have a pre-recorded video that I did a long time ago where I walk someone through how to take Thrive. It's on the YouTube channel. You guys are all welcome to use it, or I encourage you to make your own, because that's a great tool, especially for a random person. You can send them that and, here's a quick 5-minute video where I'm explaining to you how to take it. So what to expect and what not to expect. And in that video, they're going to hear your voice. They're going to get to see your face. So they will still be random to you, but you will actually be someone to them. But yeah, I definitely, you for sure will have their email. If you have their phone number, if that pops up for you, I say call it. I say text them. And again, same thing. Hey, just saw you placed your first Thrive order. I'm super excited for you, and I want to make sure you have the best experience. My name is Michelle. I'm here to help you. What are your top health goals? I would always end with a question to encourage them to write you back. Now, with all that said, that sounds so smooth like butter. Sometimes those people never respond. They don't respond to the email. They don't respond to the text. They don't respond to the phone call. Some people just want to order a product and fly under the radar. And so, I do anything I can on my end to connect with them. But they may or may not, relate back to you, which is fine. If they do, that's awesome. Then now you don't have a random person. You have a true customer that and you can start to get to know. To me, when I have the random people that we'll call them, I just have to make sure I keep writing their name in my planner every few weeks to keep contact with them, because it's not like they're my Facebook friend. It's not like I'm seeing their feed or even being constantly reminded of them. So I have to constantly remind myself of them so I don't forget. So keep that in mind. I love it. I've been leaving my card in random places. So just getting more about, yeah, good. So tell us really quick before we get off here, what random places, like, are you dropping them places? Or are you setting them on counters places? Leaving them on the bus like I thought you were doing? And it's clearly working because you just got changing tables. Nice. She's totally got the moms. I leave mine between monsters. Oh, monster drinks. Oh, gotcha. I was like, Sandra, surely you mean to say something else. Okay. Empty grocery carts. Perfect. I like these places. I like these ideas. I've never put them between Monster energy drinks, and the changing table is genius because that's a tired mom or a stressed out grandma or whoever. Okay. Well, yeah, thanks for that. But yeah, so you will get randoms along the way. Just know, I think that those are gifts from God, and you got to follow up. And even when they're not responding back, so I have some people who have been random customers on auto ship for 6 months or more. They will not respond to anything I send them, but I still send them stuff because one of these days they might. Got that from Sam. Oh, the empty grocery carts or the changing tables, either, probably all of them. She's brilliant and a genius. So I don't know. Tables. Okay. All right. So that's all I have. Thank you, Michelle, for that. That was a good way to end this. If you guys need anything, let me know, and I'll have this posted on the YouTube here shortly, and you can share it with your teams or go back and revisit if you need to. See you next week. Bye.